The film begins with the introduction of Tessa, the main character, who used to be in a relationship that drastically altered her life. She awakens from a dream and begins to pack her belongings as she prepares to depart for college. Her mother Carol and her best friend and boyfriend Noah join her in the kitchen downstairs. Carol offers suggestions on items Tessa may require while she is away, but Tessa reminds her that she is attending college. Together, Carol, Noah, and Tessa navigate the crowded dormitory halls to find Tessa's new room, B22. Upon entering, they are greeted by loud music and several girls sitting on the bed. Tessa introduces herself to her new roommates, Steph and Tristan, with Steph vaping. Steph expresses some uncertainty about having a freshman roommate, but assures Tessa that she will be her spirit guide and that it will be cool. Tristan assures Tessa that they can access the best venues without requiring a fake ID. Tessa's overprotective mother objects to her sharing a room with a marijuana-smoking roommate and requests a room change, concerned that Tessa's studies will be disrupted. Tessa, however, insists that she can handle the situation responsibly. Before departing, Tessa's mother lectures her about staying focused on her studies. Later, when Steph invites Tessa to go out, Tessa declines and instead pulls out numerous books that she brought with her. The following morning, Tessa departs her dorm early for her first class and encounters Landon outside of a locked classroom. Together, they wait for the professor to arrive and unlock the door. We discover that Tessa is determined to excel in her studies because she wants to achieve financial stability as soon as possible. After showering in the dorm, Tessa discovers her clothes on the wet floor. When she returns to her room to retrieve a towel, she startles upon seeing a boy sitting on Steve's bed through the closet mirror. The boy claims to be in the right place and holds up a set of keys as proof. Tessa asks him to leave, but he stays and chats with Steph when she arrives. Tessa asks Steph to have the boy leave so she can change, but Steph refuses. They invite Tessa to a party, but she declines and is insulted by Hardin's snide comment about her being a nerd. As the boy leaves, he hands Tessa back the book he was reading, remarking on its greatness, but Tessa corrects him, stating that it was actually a lie. The boy smirks and departs. On the following day, Tessa is studying in a coffee shop on campus when Steph arrives with Hardin. They order their drinks, and Tessa makes eye contact with Hardin, who slightly smiles but doesn't say anything. Tessa goes to the library to continue studying but is interrupted by Steph, who invites her to a party that night. Despite her previous resistance, Tessa agrees to attend. Steph assists her in selecting a dress for the occasion. At the party, Tessa informs them that she does not drink, and they head to the living room, where a group of friends, including the trio from the coffee shop and another guy, are lounging on the couch. Steph introduces Tessa to her friends, including Zed, Jace, the town, Molly, and the impolite boy, Hardin. Molly and Hardin are kissing and touching each other while lounging on the couch. Tessa is taken aback when she sees Tristan and Steph kissing. Zed asks Tessa about her preferred area of study, whether it is business or economics. The group then decides to play Truth or Dare, and Jace picks Tessa to ask her Truth or Dare. When she chooses Truth, Molly asks her where the wildest place she ever had sex was. Tessa becomes visibly uncomfortable and requests to pass. Molly notices this and asks Tessa if she's a virgin. Tessa does not want to answer and opts for a dare. She dares Tessa to kiss Hardin, and he walks over to her. However, when Hardin tries to kiss her, she walks away, declaring that she is done with the game. The other friends tease Hardin for his first ever rejection. Later on, Tessa calls Noah outside on the porch, and he reprimands her for drinking and partying. She hangs up on him and goes back inside. Eventually, Tessa goes upstairs and enters one of the bedrooms. On the wall, there hangs a Union Jack flag and a shelf filled with books. Among the books, Tessa notices a copy of Wuthering Heights with sticky notes scattered throughout its pages. As she begins to read, Hardin startles her by appearing and asking what she's doing. When Tessa questions if he's been drinking, he assures her that he doesn't drink, just like her. Hardin recognizes the book as his own copy and recites a few lines from it. He mistakenly calls Tessa Teresa, but she quickly corrects him and introduces herself as Tessa Hardin. Embarrassed, Tessa inquires about why she's in his room. Just as they are about to kiss, Tessa regains her senses and pulls away. She quickly leaves and later reconciles with Noah after he apologizes for scolding her earlier. In class, Tessa seeks out a seat and finds Landon in the front. She intentionally avoids Molly and Zed, whom she spots in the crowd. Arden and Tessa are enthusiastic about being permitted to enroll in the advanced English course. As Arden enters the classroom, Professor Soto begins discussing the novel Pride and Prejudice. She directs a question about the book to Hardin, causing Tessa to feel annoyed that he is in her class. Hardin shares his opinion that love is not genuine and can be switched on and off. He also suggests that Elizabeth Bennet was tough on Mr. Darcy, but he wasn't all that bad. Tessa expresses her view that the novel was ahead of its time, but Hardin dismisses it as nonsense, leading to a class disagreement. After class, Hardin and Tessa leave the building, and he expresses how enjoyable the argument was, but Tessa rebukes him, stating that there is nothing between them. Hardin acts clueless and claims he was only talking about the book. Later, Landon joins Tessa and disapproves of Hardin's arrogance. Landon also reveals that he and Hardin could become stepbrothers as his mother is dating Hardin's father, who is also the vice-chancellor of the university. Afterwards, Tess met up with Steph, who was in the process of getting a tattoo. Tess tried to persuade Steph to get a tattoo as well, but Steph declined. The following day, Tess visited a campus coffee shop and saw Hardin sitting on a couch reading. Hardin approached her and suggested that they start fresh and simply be friends. They went on a drive together, eventually arriving at a beautiful lake in the woods. Tessa was having the time of her life, and Hardin even convinced her to jump into the lake with him. As they grew closer, Tessa reminded him that they were only going to be friends, but Hardin expressed doubt about that. They ended up kissing, and after getting out of the lake, Hardin returned Tessa's dress and turned around so she could put it on. On the dock, they stand back to back just as she's about to change her clothes. She reaches her hand back slowly to touch him, and he turns around, running his hands up and down her arm and chest while whispering into her ear. He lifts her shirt to rub her stomach and then stops. When she asks why he stopped, he says they have plenty of time and he wants to take it slow. The next day, Tessa tells him that she plans on telling Noah about them. But Hardin scoffs, saying that nothing is going on and if she wants to break up with Noah, she should do it for herself, not for him, because he doesn't date. Tessa is shocked and angry, slamming his keys on the bar top and storming out. Hardin curses to himself, knowing he messed up. Noah comes for a surprise visit, and they go to a bonfire together. Jace's persistent flirting with Tessa at the bonfire causes a rift between Hardin and him, leading to a physical altercation. Afterwards, Hardin storms off, and Tessa receives a text from Landon informing her that Hardin had a major fight with his father. Concerned, Tessa goes to Hardin's house to check on him, where he apologizes for his behavior and declares his love for her. They spend the night together, but the next morning, Noah confronts Tessa about her whereabouts, causing her to feel heartbroken at losing her childhood friend. Tessa withdraws from socializing for a few days, but eventually reconciles with Hardin. During a makeout session in Tessa's room, her mother walks in and becomes upset, leading to an argument between the two. Carol is worried that she is jeopardizing her future with Hardin and believes that she's making a grave error. Tessa wants independence from her controlling mother and warns that she will cut her off if she continues to date Hardin. Despite her mother's threat, Tessa chooses not to end the relationship, and her mother follows through with cutting her off, cautioning her daughter that Hardin will ultimately hurt her. In contrast, Hardin proves his commitment by renting a house for them and promising to cover all of her expenses. Their relationship flourishes, and Hardin's love for Tessa only grows stronger with time. One day, Hardin attends his father's wedding, despite their strained relationship, and Tessa accompanies him to show her support. There, he introduces her to his father and even offers her a job position. Hardin informs her that his father has never been a good parent and that he despises him. He shares that his father's actions led to his mother being physically assaulted by some thugs who were after his father because he owed them money. Hardin still holds a grudge against his father to this day. Tessa is confronted by Hardin after class, who asks about her former boyfriend. Tessa discloses that they have broken up, and Hardin informs her that they have been spending time together. Molly is pleased to hear this news, much to Tessa's surprise. Later, Tessa is engrossed in a book when Hardin's phone starts buzzing with messages. Upon inspecting the phone, Tessa realizes that the texts are from Molly, who is urging Hardin to meet them at a bar at 9 p.m. and possibly disclose their relationship to Tessa. Hardin enters the room and expresses confusion about Molly's messages, claiming that he has no idea what she is talking about. Tessa is upset that Hardin is leaving in the midst of their argument, but Hardin asks her if she trusts him. Tessa is then seen sitting at home. Later that night, when Hardin fails to respond to her texts, Tessa receives a message from Jace, inviting her to meet him at a different bar. Upon arriving, she discovers that the entire group is already there and learns that she has been living with Jace in a separate house, which surprises Molly as she has a crush on Hardin. When Molly asks Tessa if she remembers the game of Truth or Dare, Hardin and Zed try to stop Molly, but she shows Tessa a video of the night she rejected Hardin. The video reveals that Hardin only pursued Tessa as a challenge with the intention of breaking her heart after making her fall in love with him. Hardin tries to convince Tessa that Hardin's feelings changed as he got to know her, but Tessa ends their relationship feeling heartbroken. In the following weeks, Tessa reconciles with her mother and Noah, who both forgive her. She also cuts ties with Steph and her group of friends and interviews for an internship at Advanced Publishing before leaving college at the end of the semester. Tessa's lecturer, Professor Soto, hands her an essay written by Hardin in which he confesses his love for her. After reading it, Tessa returns to the lake to reunite with the love of her life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you for watching.